versus non-social media check marks. I made this a topic for a couple of reasons. I was supposed to do a Feel Good Mondays yesterday, but unfortunately, I but I was so tired I couldn't even. And then I have overtime at work. I didn't get a chance to do it. But tonight, I've decided to make it up right here on Haps TV. So you can come in and you can just relax, unwind, and I can talk about the topics of why I think this is important. Of no matter if you are a celebrity or a sports athlete or professional commentator on TV or radio, versus the people that you never heard about, versus the people that do the work behind the scenes and they don't have a check mark beside their names. I was basically, and you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to Darman. Darman is amazing. He does commentating on, really he does videos. They're spoken about situations, but anyway, he's great at what he does. So we look at a lot of people who has Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, even TikTok, and a lot of famous people has check marks beside their names because everybody know who they are. And I was thinking, like, sometimes I even want to have a check mark on my name, but unfortunately, I didn't get one, and that's fine. So I was going to tell you one thing, guys, and it's important for you to understand this. It's just because you don't have a check mark beside your name on all your social media does not mean that you're not an important person. You can post anything on your social media, everybody will see it. On Twitter, they you retweet it or liked it. On Instagram, they like what you posted. So, when I first got my Instagram, I want to be a private person and I try to be an activist as much as I can. The thing of it is you can't judge a book by its cover. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You can't judge a book by its cover. Um, you even do interviews with people. You may not even be the most famous person in the world. You might not even they might not see you on TV, but you do have your YouTube channel. You do have your podcast and everything else. I think importantly, we have to understand one thing that you, but just because you don't have a check mark in your name doesn't mean what you posted is not important or you're not an important person. You can be anybody you want to be if you have your mind to it. And a lot of people's like, well, you're not a actor or a rapper or a most popular person on social media or a news commentator with check marks in their names. And I was felt kind of sad because even YouTubers got content creators. We also want check mark on their names because we got content, but they don't want that. They basically want the famous people. They basically want a person that has a platform that millions of followers will follow you, and it's important to do that. Good evening, patient as a virtue. Peace be love to you as well. It's y'all. It's all about what's in a man's mind and heart. Like earlier today, and it made me realize one thing that, like I said before, you can't judge a book by its cover. So earlier today, I did a story. As a matter of fact, I believe yesterday and today I did a story about a young woman in Boston, Massachusetts. Basically, her apartment manager called the police on her for no apparent reason, and obviously that she was assaulted by Boston police, and she was indeed arrested and escorted her out of the premises. It was making so much backlash on social media, excuse me, that everybody responded, including myself. So a lot of people, I mean, I posted all her stories on my Twitter. On you can find me again on Twitter at the Real Lions Den. You can also find me on Instagram at the_real_lions_den number 2. And her story is on my Instagram and Twitter account. And guess what? Amazing thing that happened today. I was so excited. I couldn't even say the words that I want to say. So the lady who was been a victim of what happened to her in Boston, with the apartment manager called the police on her, she was on Instagram Live today. And guess who talked to her? Yours truly, Lions Den. And so I, decided to, go on Instagram Live with her. And amazingly thing happened. She set my Instagram Live request, and I did an interview on her on Instagram Live. What she told me was amazing. She told me what happened. Well, she didn't tell me the details, and I can understand why, because it's starting to get legal and everything else. But she did say a few things. And it was really amazing to talk to a woman who has been traumatized by Boston police. Everybody, some on social media talked about it. Even Seji Hito did a video on her. But I was the first person on social media that ever talked to her one-on-one, on Instagram Live. And she still, to this day, reports that, now she's outside of the building. They wouldn't even allow her in her apartment building. But again, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, ladies and gentlemen, just because you don't have a check mark on the side of your name on your social media doesn't necessarily mean that you're not important, because you are important. You can bring any content you want, and everybody will see it and listen to it. She told me, she said, send her a DM with her story on it, and I did, on her DM on Instagram. That was one of the most amazing accomplishments that I've ever done as content creator. So, and this is important for a lot of people to understand, because when you think about it, a lot of people don't know who you are. Now, some people are gonna say, "Well, who is Lions Den?" I don't never heard of him. But I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. I am who I am because God make me the who I am today. I've been through a lot, and like I said, thank God for social media, because again, I put all the content out that nobody would ever put out. And even the mainstream media refused to even talk about cases that I talked about on YouTube, or posted pictures of videos that I posted on Instagram. So, as a content creator, as a podcaster, as a YouTuber, it's okay that you don't have to put a check mark in your name, because at the end of the day, someone, and I repeat, someone will recognize you. It doesn't matter if you are Lisa Cabrera or a Seji Hito or a Korean Rain or even Information Man. Shouts out to my partner. If people could put out content and people watch it or listen to it, because they know the mainstream media won't even do it. And it's okay for people to have check marks in their names, because we as content creators and social media people have just much popularity as people who has mainstream media or entertainment or celebrityism. And none of us don't have check marks in our names. So, you guys, I want each and every one of you guys to understand this: how important we are, and how important you guys are as well as fans, because you guys are wonderful. You guys are amazing. Because without you guys, there won't be no Lions Den. There won't be anybody on content creator that do stories that's effective, not only throughout the Black community, but all communities. This is important. And I could have done this yesterday on Feel Good Mondays, But unfortunately, I've been, been busy doing a lot of things, including doing reality work. I mean, working in reality. But I decided to do this today because I just want to, take this time out to talk to you guys on how important you guys really are. And you guys are very important. And keep in mind, you guys show me what it's like. I mean, you don't have to be famous to be, you don't have to be famous to get things done. Let's just put it like that. And just as you guys, you're just as popular as a famous basketball player, football player, and as far as sports related athletes, some basketball players didn't make it in the NBA and still was great. So again, never judge a book by its cover. And I'm telling you straight up, I mean, today was an amazing thing. And I just wish that I can record the interview that I made to this young lady that was falsely arrested, that was, assaulted and, by Boston police. I wish I can really record it, but I can understand that some things you can't record. But that was the most best interview I've ever did as a content creator, because I did stories on her. Through, I mean, send it. I mean, through her. I mean, she got a Snapchat. No, she don't have no Snapchat, but she does have a TikTok. She's telling her story, what happened to her, and what I'm seeing is that this young lady needs the support that she can get, and she want me to tell you guys. I mean, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, that I post a story about her. She wants to tell you guys she needs the support that she can get through GoFundMe, everything. Because right now she's in trouble. You know, she needs the support we can get for this sister. And I told her we will get that support for her. But enough said about that. I mean, my thing is that a person don't have a check mark, but they can be just as amazing as a person that does have a check mark. And you get what I'm saying? And it's really amazing how this would change your life forever. Now, ever since I posted a story about her, people from Instagram like my videos, like my stories, and I don't even have a check mark in my name. And basically, that is important for a lot of people to understand. You can make a difference, y'all. And you don't even have a. I mean, you don't have to be famous to make a difference. This is how I said that it's important for people to understand who you are and what you're about and what you're capable of. If you got talent, use it. I remember the late rapper, Christopher Rios, also known as Big Pun. He did a movie called Boricua's Bond. That was a movie that came out years ago. And he said those things. He said, and I can't use language because I'm also on Facebook and I have friends like that are church members. Because my father-in-law is a pastor. But he did say this. He said he told the Tommy the character. He said, "F school. If you want to be an artist, you do it." I'm letting you guys know, if you have talent, if you got things, I mean, you've got things that are important, go do it. Prove your talent, prove your wrongness. Prove people wrong that people didn't think, oh, you just a small potatoes. Why should I deal with you? Prove them wrong. Because you never know. Someone will come up and look at what you're doing and like it. And guess what? The next day you get paid for what you do. Like if you want to be an artist, you want to be a poet, if you want to do this is how you do it. Just do what you do best. Always have talent. Don't let nobody judge you for what you do. Don't don't let nobody do it, because at the end of the day, you never know what will happen. So, sometimes we get through situations. It's sad that they rather listen to people with check marks than listen to people that don't have check marks beside their names. But I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. Don't believe it. Because one day some famous person will read what you wrote or saw what you posted on social media and they will like your stuff. And I'm saying like this, keep fighting for what you believe in. Always believe in yourself. And I guarantee you, if things happen the way it should happen for you, guess what? Everybody's gonna look at your profile, and then later on, you may not even need your check mark to make a difference. And that's exactly what I've done. I tried to put a check mark in my name, and obviously, they will not allow because I'm not famous enough or they never heard of me, and that's fine. I may not need a check mark because what I posted on there is just as good as any media savvy posted on there. Maybe better, maybe better than them. And that's what's scary about it. I think the mainstream media is feared that YouTubers, content creators, are posted every news thing that's out in their YouTube channel, and they fear that they people go view or watch what we posted, and they're doing it. They see the ratings on mainstream media is completely dropping because they don't believe what they say. Instead, they believe what the people in YouTube are saying, the content creators, the people that did the work behind the scenes. They try to do the stories that the mainstream media refuse to even do. And that's important. That's very important. And I want each and every one of y'all to understand about yourself. Just because you don't have a check mark on beside your name doesn't necessarily mean that you're not important or special, or you're not or you don't you're not the greatest people in the world, famous people in the world. You have to be yourself, and this is what Feel Good Monday was all about. And again, I apologize for not being on there yesterday, but I decided to be on here today to let you know that be an artist. If you're a basketball player, keep doing what you're doing. If you are a poet, keep doing what you're doing and posting your stuff out there because you never know who's reading it or who's seeing you do it. And like the late great Big Pun says, forget school. I'm doing it clean way now. Forget school. If you want to be an artist, you do it. Don't give up your dream because people don't have a check mark in your name. Because the thing is, yeah, y'all they're famous because they're rappers, there's R&B singers, they're entertainers, they're athletes, sports athletes, had check mark and everybody know who they are. But it took a person that never been recognized before. It took one person to make a difference. And you know what? And that's important, y'all, because you know I see a lot of people on Twitter who post some good content, who post some realness on their social media sites, and people don't listen or don't read it. Like important people don't do it, and you got people like family members who lost loved ones in police involved shootings. They posted content and they posted videos on their social media telling them what happened. And the most mainstream medias don't even want to do a story on it. But it took YouTubers like Lisa Cabrera, like the True Raw family, like Stegy Hito, like the Plainest Jane, like Information Man, and myself to put content on stories that the mainstream media would not even do follow stories on. We did that. And everybody is watching us. And none of us don't have check marks on their name besides our names. That's important. That's called real story. It's called doing reporting. And some people who got the money, like the MSNBCs or the CNNs or the Fox News or the Bloomberg News, all they care about is what they put on their platforms, not stories that's important for the public to see. And that's sad. That's real sad. And I mean, you know, none of us don't have check marks on their names, but we did make a difference because people seeing our content. They did. They see in our content every day that we post videos. If something happens, like if there's a lynching, if there's a police involved shootings, if there's kidnappings or missing persons, we put stories that's affected our community. We put stories that the mainstream media don't want to put stories on their platforms. We did that. So for everybody that don't want to listen to us or don't want to see our content, that's fine. Or refuse to put our check marks on their names like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Do you don't want to put check mark on beside our names? That's fine, because one thing is that you don't have to put check in our name not to know our content or not to know who put the story out there. And you couldn't believe a lot of people. And just to think, y'all, when I did Instagram, I just put private, but someone tells me, or during my DM, that person says, "Why did you put private? Do public. Show the world what's really going on." And I told the person, and I said, that's not a bad idea." So I changed it from private to public. Ever since then, everybody sees what's happening in the world, what's going on here in the United States. And even Haps TV, for those who created Haps TV, I thank y'all. Now the entire world will see what we're talking about. They can go through, through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch TV. So we're everywhere. They can't escape what we're talking about. And we're using Haps TV as a platform. And like I said before, just because you don't have a check mark beside your name doesn't mean that your content won't matter, because it does. Because realistically, if it doesn't matter, then how come a lot of people are checking out your social media every day? And even critics will check out your social media asking, what stories that person's going to do next? I'm interested in it. So, I mean, you're doing very well. Well, the people that has money, the people that does celebrityism or does talk show host on TV or radio. And this is important. And I want each and every one of you guys to understand that if you're an artist, do what you do best. Be an artist. If you're a basketball player, do what you do best and play ball. Because once again, just because you don't play college or you don't play, just because you don't go to college, that doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. For example, look what's going on with Jay-Z. I'm using him an example. Jay-Z was was an unknown drug dealer in Marcy, Brooklyn, until until he became a rapper. You know, ever since then, his rapping blowing up. Um, I see other people who, you know, that never go to college and doing extremely well. I remember, and it breaks my heart to tell you guys this, but I remember when I was at North Carolina State University, a counselor, a white counselor, you know what she told me? She told me, Thomas, I don't think you will make it this semester. I don't think you have the, what's the word she's looking for? I don't think you have the experience to make it in college. I never forget that. That really hurt me. And after what's going on, I dropped out of North Carolina State because I couldn't afford to stay. I want to graduate so bad at North Carolina State, but I didn't have the money to stay in school. And again, that's why I thought in my mind, what can I do? It took it's bad that you take someone to tell you what you can or can't do. It's sad. But my point is that don't let nobody tell you you can't do things. Don't let nobody say you can't do this or you can't do that. Because the thing of it is, matter of fact, that's your freaking motivation right there. If you believe you can do all of this, then it's going to happen. Trust, facts. If you believe you want to be a ball player and you got the skills to do it, just go do it. Don't give up your dream. I mean, if you want to be an R&B singer or a rapper or even a producer, don't give up your dreams. Do it. And like Big Pun said, if you want to be an artist, you do it. But that's why I want to come on Haps TV, y'all, to tell y'all that just because you don't have a check mark beside your name doesn't necessarily mean you're not important or you're not famous. Because you can be famous without having that check mark on your name. I mean, for perfect example, look what happened with all the content creators on Twitter. Neither one of us don't have check marks in our names, but we still get the content done, and everybody's watching our content almost every day. So I want you, for those of you that want to be an R&B singer, want to be a rapper, want to be a ball player, or want to be a songwriter, don't give up your dream because people say you can't do it. Because that's the matter of fact, that's the motivation you need to even make it even better. Because you never know, some celebrity will look at their work and say, why don't you do songs for me? Why don't you do my videos? Blah 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 blah. See, y'all, that's the problem with people today. They don't listen, they don't see your content. But then if everybody know who you are, it's gonna take fans to know who you are or recognize you. Facts. So this is important for you guys to understand how lucky every last one of you are, because I know behind the camera there's someone out there that's special enough to make a difference. One thing about me is that I didn't really think I would make it this far. I was kind of hurt because, my YouTube channel only got 1,098 subscribers. Well, I could have had more than that. But sometimes you have to understand that with what you do, and like I said, people can subscribe your channel, and you might be the smallest YouTuber on your, I mean, everywhere. But at the end of the day, when you post that content, people will watch you. They will watch you, and then they're gonna subscribe your channel. They're gonna basically, obviously, send your videos to your YouTube channel, I mean, your Twitter, your Facebook, everything. But I'm gonna tell you straight up, and this is important. Don't let nobody tell you you can't make it or you can't do this, you can't do that. In fact, you know what your response will be? Okay, all right, you think that. You think that. That's, to me, shows you the motivation you need to even make it better. You know, you think about it. Not all of us didn't have college degrees. Not all of us didn't have become CEOs. Some people basically didn't have money at all, but with their greatness, guess what happened? Cha-ching, money comes in quick. It depends on the right person that comes along in your life. That's why I felt it's important for a lot of people to understand that it takes anybody to fight the fight. I mean, I wasn't even want to be an activist, but took situations like that to happen in me, and I became an activist. I became a YouTuber. I became a podcaster. I became a talk show host. It took incidents in my personal life to make it the way I am now. So at the end of the day, y'all, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can have a check mark in your name and be famous, whatever. They know who you are. But if you don't have a check mark in your name, that's fine too. Your content is just as important as the people that have the check mark beside their names. Trust me. You got everybody that knows who you are, but you got people that, just don't know, but still do the work. And I'm gonna tell you like this, to the kids that watch my videos. I know there's some children that watch my videos. I got nephews, and I got nephews and niece. Um, don't give up your dream because people say that you can't do this and you can't do that. Matter of fact, let that be your motivation. I said, okay, and then the next time when you may be a famous basketball player, a famous football player, then the people that say that you can't make it, they're gonna be like, oh my God. So that's important, y'all. Don't give up your dream for nobody. And guess what? You don't even have to have a college degree to be successful. You don't even have to have a college degree to be famous, to be great. That's the thing, y'all. I didn't really think that, I would be this far, make it this far. But it takes you guys, your love, your support, and your prayers for me to do this. Without you guys, there won't be no Lions Den. And to think I would try to give up on being a social media personality as a whole. But it took you guys to say, never give up the fight. Keep posting stuff because somebody will watch you. Somebody will see your content. And it happened. It happened. I did that interview for a couple of reasons. For the woman that was assaulted and Boston police. Even she didn't even know who I was. And that's fine. But I did explain to her who I was. And she was nice enough. Now, she could have said, no, I don't want to talk to you right now. Or she would have, turned off her live. But she didn't. She and I had a conversation. We had an interview. And she explained to me. She didn't explain to me the whole lot. But she did explain to me some of what went down in Boston. What the apartment manager did to her. And continue to do to her. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, just because you don't have a check mark in your name doesn't necessarily mean that your content or anything you posted ain't important or you're not important, because none of that is true. You're important, and people will see your work, and people will read your tweets. People will notice your what you posted on Facebook or Instagram. They would know. Even famous people will know that. Even you never know. Even a famous person will retweet your tweet or like your content on Instagram. You never know. So this is what's important, y'all. And I think a lot of people are going to make it thinking, oh, they're famous. They're going to have hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers. They're going to like what they say because they know who they are. But I'm telling you like this: a person that don't know who they are, they also just got the same. I mean, they're just as powerful as the person that's are famous or the person that's got the name or on all the media outlets. They do. And again, somebody will recognize you. It really, really recognize you. A lot of people, I know, I'm reading the comments. I think this person said, want to be famous, buy followers. Listen, this to me, you don't have to even do that. Just be who you are. Be you. That's all it is. Just be you. And I guarantee you, things will happen. Good things will happen. It's just a matter of time. And at the end of the day, and I'm about to get out of here, but I'm gonna tell you tell you this. Remember, y'all, you don't have to have a check mark in your name just to be. You don't have to have a check mark beside your name to be important. That's the key right there. Because one day they're gonna know who you are, and they're gonna recognize you, and one day they may ask for your autograph. They may ask to take pictures with you. It's up to the individual to make it happen. It takes you to make it happen. Don't let people tear you down. Don't let people say you can't do this and do that, because they don't really know you. You know you. You know what you're capable of. You know that you can do this if you set your mind to it. That's the key. That is the key right there, is you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I would like to say. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in my live. And remember what I'm saying. You're important. You're basically famous without that check mark beside your name. Until then, I'm like I said, Thursday I'm gonna do a stereo podcast. And then Saturday I'm doing my station head. I know like next week I'm definitely gonna do Feeling Good Mondays again, and then Tuesdays I'm gonna do my podcast on Anchor. So, with that being said, I wish you guys good night and have a great Tuesday evening. And I will talk to you soon, or I will talk to you on my next video on YouTube. This is Lions Den signing